Vice President of the Oakland University Student Congress. I just want to thank everyone for coming out today. Our hearts are very saddened, and it's unfortunate. It's truly unfortunate. We lost someone who meant a lot to all of us. But I'm only here to MC the program, and we'll start off with the President of Association of Black Students, Kayla Anderson, in prayer.
If everyone could please bow their heads. Father God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this amazing man that you've given us, Lord Jesus. We thank you for his impact, God, how he was able to touch so many in such a short amount of time, God. We just thank you for the opportunity to commemorate him and give him his flowers, God. We thank you for every moment shared with him and every time spent with him and every person that he was able to talk about you to, Lord, and to just help in any way that he could, God. We thank you for this time. We ask that you cover us and keep us safe while we are here. Be with us as we depart and go on our separate ways, God, and heal our hearts at this time, Lord Jesus. Be with us. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Now, for the next speaker, it is of the fraternity which Glenn McIntosh was a part of, the Omega Phi Psi, and we have.
Omega Psi Phi.
Didn't I say Omega Psi Phi? Okay. Nigel Oram.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Thank you very much. Let's not be so somber. I know we weren't ready, but if there was truly a soul that was ready, it was his soul that was ready. I want to start by saying I love you and there's nothing that you can do about it. We gather today to honor the life and legacy of Glenn McIntosh, affectionately called Glenn Mac, VP Mac, Dean Mac, Mr. OU, and a host of other names by everyone who was affected by him. He was a true titan in the development of Oakland University and the way that it is today, and a bright, shining light for the community and all who had the pleasure of meeting him. Glenn McIntosh grew up on the west side of Detroit in a low-income family of 7. He graduated from Western High School with magna cum laude honors and all city and all state accolades in athletics. He then went on to Central Michigan University, where he served as an orientation group leader, a resident advisor, a basketball team tutor, a student government president, and somehow found the time to join the Omega Psi Phi fraternity. Initiated December 3rd, 1983, he served as Basileus president in undergrad and later assisted in the chartering of Tau Kappa Kappa chapter. He was truly, truly a man that exemplified the cardinal principles of manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and uplift. To continue his life cornerstoned in uplifting the downtrodden, these roles were just the start of a monumental career of assisting, mentoring, and inspiring others. He went on to gain his Master's of Arts in Mental Health Counseling at Wayne State University. During his time there, he served as academic advisor and extension coordinator. After he began his time at Oakland University, where he served as a Saturday Academy instructor for Project Upward Bound, which helped him discover that OU was the perfect home for him to exercise his belief in higher education and harnessing it to unlock the opportunities for both individuals and entire communities. With that in mind, he became the founding director of the Center of Multicultural Initiatives. And within that year, he created the Oakland University Trustee Academic Success Scholarship Program, which is a nationally recognized program for having one of the highest student retention graduation rates for underrepresented students in the country. Glenn was not only a savant in the academic field, but he was also an outstanding athlete as he won Mr. Michigan and Mr. Ironman bodybuilding competitions. During that time, which he was extremely proud of for the fact that it gave him the mindset to be intentional and head on in fulfilling his heart's desires. It led him to write a book about his journeys called It's Time to Bring Your A Game. Through the rest of his time at OU, he went on to create a lasting impact in all facets of the university. He assisted heavily in the athletics department, helping Oakland University achieve Division I status. He was also the founding director of the Advising Resource Center. During his time at OU, he held many different positions and garnered many achievements, which include Dean of Student Life, Senior President of Student Affairs, and the first Chief Diversity Officer, where he oversaw many programs including the undergraduate admissions, financial aid and scholarship, Office of the Registrar, Dean of Student Service, First Year Advising Center, Orientation and New Student Programming, University Housing, Oakland Center, Career Services, Disability Support Services, Graham Health Center, OU Counseling Center, Academic Success Center, the Student Tech Center, the Center for Multicultural Initiatives, the Gender and Sexuality Center, the Veteran Support Services, the Office for Student Involvement, the Pre-College Programs, Community Engagement Program, the Project Upward Bound, the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. And he also, during his professional career, won countless awards, which are included but not limited to the Diversity and Excellence Award, the George Whitby Service Award, the Michigan Chronicles Man of Excellence Award, the NAACP Community Leadership Award, the Noel Levitz Student Retention Excellence Award, the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Man of the Year Award, the Wayne State University College of Lifelong Learning Award of Excellence, and many, many more. But beyond all of that, he was an amazing human being. A strong, upright man with an infectious smile and a fatherly presence. Someone you could walk up to and have a conversation with, and he actually cared. And though he had so much to do, he always seemed to have enough time to talk to a student. He worked tirelessly to assist as many people as he possibly could. A master orator, McIntosh was a much sought after public speaker with the innate ability to engage audiences with his voice and bring home strong points to anyone wise enough to listen. He showcased those skills regularly as a reverend at Renaissance Unity. I would like to end with an affirmation that Glenn shared in one of his sermons. So everyone, please repeat after me. And these are his words, and you can look up Renaissance Unity on YouTube and hear his voice again. I encourage all of you to. So please repeat after me. I am free. By divine design. I am powerful. Beyond my past. The fire of truth is lit in me. I fan it with every thought, word, and choice. I am not waiting for liberation. I am living in elevation. And that exemplifies the man that he was. Truly powerful, motivational, caring, and free. Rest in peace, Glenn Mack. We will always love you. We will always remember you.
Thank you so much, Nigel. That was a really great speech. Next, we have representing the CMI office, the Center for Multicultural Initiatives, is Miriam Som.
Can you hear me? Hi. Thank you so much for being here. It's so weird to talk in front of so many people. Last time I had to, Glenn was in the crowd cheering for me. So thank you all for being here tonight. I don't even know where to begin. I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to Glenn. Thank you for being part of my journey. Mr. McIntosh was one of the most impactful and inspiring people I've ever gotten to meet since moving in the US 2 years ago. He has been such a great part of my journey here and all of our journey here at Oakland University. I think we're all still in shock about his sudden departure. It saddens me to think that I'm no longer gonna walk around the Oakland Center and just see Mr. McIntosh and his amazing ties that are always so colorful. Okay. I was talking to someone earlier who was telling me about how many suits Mr. McIntosh owns because he's always so well dressed in different suits and different colors. I'm gonna miss his warm smile. I love seeing Mr. McIntosh smile. I love just walking by the parking lot too and just seeing Mr. OU walking by there. And I wish he was here to all see us succeed and go on through our journeys at OU. But unfortunately, we're gonna have to be the ones to keep on his legacy and make sure that we make Mr. McIntosh proud of us. Glenn had a gift of making people feel seen, people feel valued and supported, whether through his guidance, his encouragement, or simply his presence. His commitment to creating a true community of belonging at Oakland University has touched countless lives and students, and his impact will forever be part of our university. Since Wednesday, I've felt so many different emotions, starting with shock, sadness, and I think we've all been coping with this differently. But I've decided to move forward with two that I want to carry with me, which are gratitude and honor. I am so grateful and honored to have known such a remarkable person, to have been able to interact with Glenn, and I will do my best to forever keep his legacy alive. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for those very, very helpful words. We appreciate it. Next, we have representing the OU NAACP chapter is McIntosh.
Good evening, everyone. My name is McIntosh, and I'm a student here at Oakland University studying marketing with a double minor in public relations and communications in the School of Business Administration. I'm also the reorganizer for the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, or NAACP for short. There's a quote by the great educator and activist Mary McLeod Bethune that says, "Invest in the human soul. Who knows, it might be a diamond in the rough." The quote reminds me so much of Mr. Glenn McIntosh, Mr. OU, Dean Mac, VP Mac, Uncle Mac to some of you, but that's because that's exactly what he did. He invested in students, he believed in us before we even knew how to believe in ourselves. Before coming to Oakland University, I was a student at Michigan State University. While I was there, I was deeply involved in campus. I served as a pageant coordinator and event coordinator, and most importantly, the vice president of the Michigan State University NAACP chapter. I poured myself into leadership, advocacy, and creating spaces for students to thrive. When I transferred to Oakland University, however, the transition was not easy. I went from being constantly active and surrounded by opportunities to having to start all over again. During my first semester, I wasn't as involved. I spent time getting to know this campus and especially learning about Black OU and what the community looked like here. It wasn't until November 2024 that I noticed something missing. There was no NAACP chapter on campus. For me, it wasn't just a surprising, it was a calling. The second I realized it, I knew I had to act. I began researching, asking questions, and figuring out how to bring it back. Along the way, I was referred to many people, but the name that stood out, the person everyone said I needed to connect with, was Mr. Glenn McIntosh. From the very first time we spoke, Mr. McIntosh was available every step of the way. He didn't just give me information or point me in the right direction, he walked with me through the process. He checked in, he encouraged me, he reminded me of the importance of not just reviving the NAACP, but to make sure it was strong, impactful, and long-lasting on this campus. What stood out to me the most was that despite being in an executive position at Oakland University, Mr. McIntosh never made you feel like he was above you. He was a leader, yes, but he was also a friend. He had the kind of presence that put you at ease, the kind of wisdom that guided you without pressuring, and the kind of care that made you feel like you mattered. He was more than just a senior vice president of student affairs. He was someone who cared deeply about people. He cared about students from all walks of life. He wanted to make sure that no matter your background, you had the resources, support, and encouragement to not only start college, but to finish through and make it strong. For me personally, he supported my vision of bringing the NAACP back to Oakland, but for so many others, he supported their dreams, their challenges, and their journey. He invested in us as people. He made sure we knew we belonged here, and he made sure we knew we had someone in our corner. That was the kind of man Mr. McIntosh was. He was an executive, but he was approachable. He had authority, but he carried it with humility. He was a professional, but he never forgot to be personal. And through it all, he was a consistent friend, mentor, and a guide. As we gather tonight to honor his life, I want to say thank you to Mr. McIntosh for the example he set, for the investment he made in all of us, and for the way he led with both strength and compassion. His legacy will live on not just through the NAACP chapter here at Oakland we are rebuilding, but through every student he touched, every barrier he helped break, and every soul he invested in. But before I leave here today, I would like to make a call of action. As Black OU and as students on this campus who love and respect Mr. McIntosh, we have a responsibility. When this university begins the search to fill his position, we must push administration to remember the standard that Mr. McIntosh set. He showed us the importance of what it means to truly serve in the role of Senior Vice President of Student Affairs and Chief Diversity Officer. He showed us that leadership is not just about the title, but it is about the people. And while I can say this with confidence, there will never be another Glenn McIntosh on this campus. It is our duty to make sure whoever comes after him carries the same attributes, the same compassion, the same care, and the same dedication to students that he embodied every single day. Rest in power, rest in peace, and rest in love, Mr. McIntosh. We will carry your life forward, and we will honor your legacy not only in memory, but in action. Ashe.
Thank you so much for that very well put together speech. Next we have Robert McGee he is the president of the OU NPHC, which is the Greek Council for the Divine Nine on campus.
Good evening, everyone. So like she said, my name is Rod, and I'm the NPHC president and a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. And I just wanted to spread a few words to show my appreciation to a real Oakland University legend, Glenn McIntosh. Mr. McIntosh impacted so many lives, as you can see. Everybody came out here to support him, and I feel like that's so beautiful. But he was the type of person that if you needed anything, anybody to talk to, or needed help with anything, he was the guy to go to. One thing that I admire about him was his smile. He had a smile that could brighten anybody's day up. And he made sure to speak to everybody he crossed paths with. Yearly, my chapter hosts a scholarship bowl in the spring to honor one of our members who passed away. Started in 2024 when we raised $2,000 to give out to students. But when we started that, he was the first to support us and donate to us. So we really appreciate him for that. But like I said, he impacted so many students here on campus, and that just shows the type of person that he was. And throughout his time at Oakland University, Mr. McIntosh was a guiding light, paving the way for countless students and leaving a lasting legacy of leadership, compassion, and service. His impact on our campus, particularly with the MPHC community, will never be forgotten. We are deeply grateful for the love and wisdom and dedication that he shared with us. So with that being said, rest in peace, Brother McIntosh. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next, we have Jason Miller representing the CMI office again. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. I know this is a very difficult time for all of us here, and it was very sudden and unexpected. I didn't really have a connection as personal as some of you here tonight, but I still wanted to take some time to just honor Glenn McIntosh and talk about what he meant to me personally. Glenn was a great person. I'm sure we all know that. If you ever had the chance to speak with him or just talk to him at an event, you could clearly tell them. He was one of those people that I looked up to. So honestly, when I heard the news about what happened to him, I was deeply saddened to hear it. I first learned who he was about 3 years ago when I was a freshman here at OU. I didn't know who he was at the time or what his title was, but I could just tell that he was the kind of person in like a high position, and he was very well respected. Over the years, I got to have many more interactions with him and learn more about who he was and what he did here at OU for over 30 years, and just how helpful he was, not just to me, but to everyone here on this campus. The impact and the message that he made on here for us was immeasurable. It leaves me feeling like I want to be like him when I get older. It got to a point where I would just see him walking around the campus, and then I never even realized it, but at some point he learned my name out of all these people that he would be walking around in meetings with and just seeing on a daily basis, because I'm sure he knew like hundreds, probably even thousands of people. But the fact that he knew my name specifically was just amazing to me. I would always see him walking around. We would make eye contact and wave. And then he would just ask me how my day was going. And if your answer was ever anything other than good, he would definitely like stop right there. And like if you didn't seem firm and sure in your answer, then he would take the time to like talk to you and see what was going on and what could he do to help you in that moment. Because that's just the type of person he was, to be honest. He would help you out and get you to the resources that you needed in that moment. He was a great person to just stop to talk to whenever you were doing anything, really. He was usually around for me and the CMI team for our welcome events. Like at our most recent early experience, he gave out his phone number to any of the students that were there and didn't have it already. Just so like if we ever needed to talk to him and have a person that they could count on, he would leave that door open for us, and like we would know that he was always there to be a good support system. I really appreciate that, not just for me, but for everybody, because he would take the time out of his day and put in work and time for all of us. There's so many people that he had an impact on, and he will be very missed. We will continue to keep his morals and mission alive, and we will miss his presence here very much on campus. Thank you for everything, Glenn.
Thank you, Jason, for that wonderful, wonderful speech. Next, we have Fatu Som, representing the African Student Union here on campus.
Good evening. Today, we gather here to honor an extraordinary man, Glenn McIntosh. Glenn was more than a presence on this campus. He was a force, an inspiration, a pillar of our community. His dedication, his commitment, and his generosity touched each of us in a way he probably never realized. Through his encouragement, his conversations, his quiet but powerful actions, Glenn changed lives. Whether through CMI, the Gender and Sexuality Center, the Veteran Support Services, just to name a few. Or simply by stopping and talking around campus with us students. He showed us that he truly meant to serve our community. He believed in us, sometimes more than we believed in ourselves. He supported us, he lifted us, and he gave us the courage to go further. This is the lasting mark he leaves in all our lives. 5 years from now, 10 years, even 20 years, we will still remember him because he was and he will always be Mr. OU. For me personally, Glenn is a role model. I aspire to walk on his footsteps, to give as much as he gave, to inspire as much as he inspired, and to leave behind a legacy as strong as his. His passing is an immense loss, and I can only imagine the pain his family is facing. But I believe we now have a mission to continue what he started, to honor his legacy by building an even stronger, more inclusive, and more supportive community. Glenn was a light for so many of us, and even though he's no longer here, that light still shines. It is now our responsibility to carry it forward and make him proud wherever he may be watching. Today, we don't just remember Glenn, we celebrate him and we promise to keep his spirit alive in everything we do. Thank you, Glenn, for all you were, and you will continue to be in our hearts. Thank you.
Thank you, Fatu. That was an excellent speech. Thank you so much. Next we have Dr. Charmin Davenport, representing the Black Alumni chapter here at Oakland University.
I can already feel myself struggling. But I hope what you've learned tonight is that through all of these remarks that people are giving, there's a constant, right? We're all really saying the same thing about Glenn. And I think that is a testament to who he really was, not just to each one of us individually, but to all of us in so many different ways. The importance he was in our lives, the love, the motivation, everything that he brought to each one of us. He brought to us what we needed. And I think you heard that tonight. So I'm going to read my remarks because if I don't, I'm sure I'll stray and I may not get through this. So anyway, good evening, everyone. And as you all know, we have gathered here tonight to honor and to remember a remarkable man, Glenn McIntosh, a friend, a pastor, a mentor, a leader, and without question, a truly good man. Glenn McIntosh meant so much to so many people. He lived his years with deep purpose and quiet power. At Oakland University, he was more than a senior vice president, more than a chief diversity officer. He was a pillar, right? Mr. OU, right? A moral compass, a voice of reason and compassion, in times a guiding hand, and a voice that reminded us all that we belonged and that we were capable of doing whatever we set out to do. Through his work in diversity, equity, and inclusion, Glenn helped shape a better Oakland University, not just structurally, but spiritually. He was a bridge builder, a truth teller, and a peacemaker. But what I and so many of us will miss most is the friend Glenn was. His warmth, his smile, the way he could give you hope and motivation to achieve your goals. The phone calls to check in, the subtle but deeply intentional acts of kindness. Glenn's passing was sudden, it knocked the wind out of us, and the void is real. It hurts, but I believe with all my heart that Glenn will want us to do what he always did. Keep loving, keep serving, keep leading with grace, keep building the kind of community that sees the dignity in every person. Let's honor Glenn not just by remembering him, but by emulating him. Let's be a little more gentle, a little more bold, a little more kind, a little more faithful. Let's make sure his legacy doesn't end with his passing, but continues in how we choose to live. I want to thank Glenn for the life that he lived, for the hearts that he touched, for the example that he set. And always know that we will miss him deeply, but we will carry him with us in our work, in our worship, and in our walk. So rest well, my good and faithful friend. I will miss you always. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Davenport. That was very inspirational. And last but not least is the Oakland University Student Body President, who I just happened to serve under, Marcus Johnson.
Good evening, everybody. I came up here thinking there are probably not enough words requisite in the English language to describe truly just how much everyone will miss Glenn McIntosh at this university. To many, he was Mr. OU, VP Mac, Dean Mac, Glenn Mac. But to me, and a lot of other people, he was more than just a leader at this university. He was a guide, a mentor, and a father figure. He saw things in people that they probably didn't see in themselves, and reminded us that we belonged here, that we mattered to somebody, and that our voices deserved to be heard. When I think of him, I think of someone who carried this entire campus community with him. He didn't just hold a position, he built relationships here. He didn't just work for the university, he lived and breathed the idea that this university could be home to his students. And the amount of people who have shown up to pay homage to him shows just how long and how successful he was in that mission. I believe his loss feels so overwhelming to us, not just because of how sudden it is, but but because he was so woven into so much of our daily lives. But in remembering him, we also recognize the legacy he leaves behind, a community where care, compassion, and connection are not extras, but necessities. I'll admit that his loss is personal for me, as I'm sure it is for all of you. His belief in me shaped me and the leader that I try to be every day. He listened when I needed guidance. He pushed me when I needed strength, even when I didn't want him to, and reminded me to keep going when I doubted myself, because that's the kind of person he was. Always lifting others up, always making sure no one felt alone. This whole week, Nia and I, in our office, we've been talking about the fact that I don't think, and Judy can correct me on this one, I don't think a single one of our meetings, I think all of them started early and always ended late just because of how long we spent talking to him about anything, really. And I don't think a single one of them went by without all of us belly laughing about something. Because I know that man, you can't talk to him without him trying to put a smile on your face in some regard. And that's what I'm hoping we can take from tonight. Our campus has indeed been through a lot. We're all feeling grief, we felt fear, and lately we've all been rather divided. But his legacy calls for us to do the opposite. To come together, to see each other fully, and to heal. Not just as individuals, but as a community. So, let's honor him, not only by remembering who he was, but by carrying his spirit forward. Let's choose to support one another, to listen with compassion, and to continue the work of building a campus where everyone feels that they belong. If we do that, he will always remain here with us, and our actions and our values, and in the community he dedicated his life to building. Now, as a salute to him, I will do what he would do should this sheer amount of people be gathered in one space. I will not do him justice, but I will try. When I say go black, you say go gold. Go black. Go gold. Go black. Go gold. Go black. Go gold. Thank you. And before I forget, I believe the Omegas will lead us in a hymn, but they are somewhere in which they are doing so. So they're not going to come to the front, but I know they wanted to do so, so I will leave this time for them to do so.
Alright, so I'll lead the hymn, and yeah, everybody who knows it, can we please join me? Omega, dear, we are thy own. Thou art our life, our love, our home. We sing thy graces far and nigh. We love Omega Psi Phi. Through all thy precepts make us true, live nobly as all real men do. Let manhood be our eternal shrine, with faith in God and heart and mind, through days of joy or years of pain, to serve the air will be our aim. And when we say our last goodbye, we'll love Omega Psi Phi, through days of joy or years of pain, to serve the air will be our aim. And when Goodbye. Will love Omega Psi Phi. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nigel, and leading the hymn, and thank you so much, the Omegas. That is the end of the program. We do, if you have flowers, please leave them at the picture that Student Congress and the Provost's office worked so hard to get. And we also have boards that you can sign for VG-MAC. I just want to thank you all for coming out, because looking around, he really meant a lot to a lot of people. And I know people, it's a Friday night, we have like lives, but this is important. We lost someone. And I just want to, like I said, thank everyone and never forget him so he will live on. Thank you.